Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dale Minyo. Yesterday, Dusty Sonnenberg traveled to a demonstration by the Ohio Soybean Council how soy products can help put out and keep out a fire. Dusty?
I'm visiting with Steve Reinhardt. Steve, a soybean farmer from Ohio, past president of the United Soybean Board. Steve, we're in Asheville, Ohio, taking a look at the soy foam, a firefighting foam demonstration. I'm curious, as a soybean farmer, but also as a past firefighter and all the involvements you've had, what does seeing this product come to fruition mean?
Well, Dusty, this is actually a really great product. This is something that the Checkoff program got involved with Green Plains Solutions in Dalton, Georgia about 3 years ago. For us to have a project start and then come to commercialized event in 3 years is actually really neat to see, and that fast turnaround and being able to get it out there for our first responders to use. I call it a triple win product. It's good for our first responders, which a lot of times are our farmers in our rural communities. It's good for the environment, and then we get to sell soybeans in the process. So it's really interesting as we go into this new world of biofuels and increasing crush. We have more meal available, which is also helping our livestock industry, which is our number one customer. But then we can take that meal and take the soybean flour, and this is what the product is actually made out of, soybean flour. And then to see when the pallets, for instance, were lit and extinguished, they couldn't hardly light them again because of the way the product coats that wood and really makes it a deterrent for the fire to rekindle. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that we totally get rid of the PFAS concern, which we know has been linked to many health effects of our first responders, and a really good product, and really happy to see it being commercially available this fast and being able to help those first responders in the process.
Well, triple win, I like that. And again, all thanks to soybean farmers' checkoff dollars. My guest again today is Steve Reinhardt.
And thanks, Dusty. Today's weather brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Here's the forecast.
Dry but cool, still here for your Tuesday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Quick forecast update for you here over Ohio. I don't see any major problems for the rest of this afternoon. I do see clouds building as we move into the overnight, and that's ahead of a frontal boundary that brings warmer air, but also a lot of rain for tomorrow and Thursday. Rain and thunderstorms will be working in. Some of the thunderstorms, particularly overnight tomorrow night through Thursday, can be strong to severe. Rain totals anywhere from 1/2 to 2 inches, with some significantly higher totals possible downstate if these thunderstorms train right over the top of each other. We are finally done with moisture as we get into Friday morning to midday, just in time for a secondary surge overnight Friday night through Saturday. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Pulling out the numbers from yesterday's crop planting intentions for Ohio farmers, I'll look to the national figure for just one category. In soybeans, record high acreage is expected in New York and Ohio. So to the Ohio version, in the corn producer category, 3.25 million acres expected this spring. That's down 4% from last year. The soybean acreage is forecast at 5.1 million acres, up 1% from last year. Hay harvested in 2025 expected to be about 830,000 acres, up 5% from a year ago. And Ohio's winter wheat acreage for 2025 estimated at 570,000 acres, up 10% from a year ago. Time now for the Midday Market Analysis, provided by Leist Mercantile and sponsored by Brandt, helping growers take control for over 70 years.
This is Ryan Metzger with Leist Mercantile for the week ending March 27th. The USDA reported that there was 63.5 million bushels of corn loaded out for export, which was well above expectation. The USDA reported 29 million bushels of soybeans loaded out for export, and that number was on the higher end of expectations. And for wheat, the USDA reported 16 million bushels loaded out for export, which was well below expectations. The market will now focus on how Trump's new tariff policy will impact export and domestic processing. Please visit our website, leistmercantile.com, to learn more about our grain marketing program and crop insurance services.
And thanks, Ryan. Today's market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Midday showing all pluses on the grain side. May corn up 6 at 4.63 1/4 cent. December up 5 at 4.47. Carry it clear to March, you're 4.60 1/4 cent, up 5 1/4. May soybeans up 10 at 10.24 3 3/4. November up 7.5 at 10.26 3/4. January up 7 1/4 cents at 10.38 1/2 cents. On the July wheat, let's go up 4 3/4 at 5.55 3/4. September 5.70 1/4 cent up 4, carried all the way to December, and you're up 4 at 5.93 1/4 cent. April cattle down 25 cents now at 207.55. June down a dime at 203.55. And August up 20 cents at $200.22. The April lean hogs are down a dime at 87.62. May down 15 cents at 88.25. June, while down 35 cents, is trading 94.92. May feeder cattle up 12 cents at 284.62. August up 37 at 289.87. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.